Welcome. Today we'll dive deep into a topic that feels as intriguing as it is empowering. How indifference, just ignoring, can dismantle even the most manipulative narcissist. Ever wondered how some people seem invincible to emotional attacks, while others crumble under narcissistic pressure? This discussion will offer a fascinating glimpse into the psychology of narcissists and why your silence, your indifference, is the one thing they simply cannot handle. Stick around until the end, and by the time we're finished, you'll have a new tool in your emotional toolkit, one that can break the toxic cycle that narcissists create around their victims. If that sounds interesting, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of our insights. Let's begin by acknowledging the power of subtle actions in human interaction. Narcissists thrive on attention, they crave it, feed on it, and are defined by it. But what happens when the very oxygen that sustains them, the attention, the reactions, and the drama, is suddenly cut off? When the people they desperately seek to control and manipulate become indifferent, it's as if their entire world starts to unravel. And that unraveling can be devastating for them, leading to an emotional collapse that few outsiders get to witness. Keep watching because in the next few minutes, we'll explore why your indifference is the kryptonite to their inflated ego. A narcissist's world is built on control of situations, relationships, and most of all, emotions. From the moment they identify someone they can manipulate, they start constructing a narrative that puts them at the center of attention. They might shower you with compliments at first, drawing you in with love bombing. But once you're hooked, they'll pivot, introducing criticism, guilt-tripping, and gaslighting into the mix. It's a psychological game designed to keep you emotionally off balance, making you feel that every small gesture or word matters. And that's where the power of indifference comes in. If you stop playing the game, if you act like their words and actions no longer affect you, it's like pulling the rug out from under them. Picture a narcissist as a performer on stage, relying on an audience to validate their performance. Every cheer or boo, every gasp or murmur, fuels their existence. Now imagine that the audience suddenly falls silent, unmoved by anything the narcissist does. The spotlight dims and the performer is left on a stage that no longer feels like home. That's what indifference feels like to a narcissist. And this isn't just a metaphor. It's grounded in psychological truth. Narcissists require constant external validation to sustain their fragile self-esteem. Without that feedback, they're forced to confront the emptiness within, a place they work tirelessly to avoid. You see, narcissists are deeply insecure at their core. Their grandiose behavior is not a reflection of genuine self-confidence, but a shield against the shame they fear. They construct elaborate facades to convince others, and themselves, that they are special, important, and worthy of admiration. But the problem with relying on external validation is that it's never truly enough. The moment people stop feeding their ego, the cracks in their facade start to show. This is why your indifference is so powerful. It deprives them of the external fuel they need to maintain the illusion of superiority. Stay with me because the psychological fallout from this is both fascinating and empowering. When confronted with indifference, narcissists will often react in extreme ways. At first, they may escalate their tactics, doing everything they can to provoke a reaction from you. They might lash out, accuse you of being cold or uncaring, or try to guilt you into re-engaging. But the more you maintain your indifference, the more desperate they become. This is because their sense of identity is tied to their ability to control others emotionally. When they lose that control, they feel as though they're losing themselves. And that can trigger what's known as a narcissistic collapse, a state of emotional turmoil where their carefully crafted persona crumbles. Narcissistic collapse is a frightening experience for the narcissist. It's a moment when they are forced to confront the reality that they are not as powerful or important as they believed. All the praise, admiration, and control they worked so hard to cultivate suddenly seem meaningless. This collapse can manifest in various ways: rage, withdrawal, depression, or a desperate attempt to regain control by any means necessary. It's a vulnerable moment, and one that reveals the truth about narcissists. Beneath their grandiose exterior lies a fragile sense of self that cannot withstand the weight of indifference. The beauty of indifference lies in its simplicity. You don't need to argue, fight, or engage in mind games with a narcissist. In fact, the less you engage, the more powerful your stance becomes. Indifference is not about being passive or weak. It's a deliberate choice to reclaim your emotional autonomy. It's saying, I refuse to be part of this toxic dance. And once you make that choice, you take away the narcissist's power over you. This is why indifference is not just a strategy. It's a form of emotional liberation. Remember, narcissists thrive on drama. They need conflict, attention, and emotional engagement to feel alive. When you deny them that, you disrupt the very foundation of their existence. And while they may try to find new sources of validation, the fact that you are no longer playing their game will haunt them. It's like a wound that never quite heals, a reminder that they are not as omnipotent as they believe. So what should you do when faced with a narcissist who is desperately trying to provoke a reaction from you? Stay calm, stay neutral, and most importantly, stay indifferent. Let them rant, rave, or try to manipulate. They will, but none of it matters if you don't give it power. And here's the best part. The more you practice indifference, the easier it becomes. Over time, you'll find that their words and actions no longer affect you the way they once did. You'll regain a sense of peace and clarity, free from the emotional chaos that narcissists thrive on. And if you're wondering whether indifference really works, just think about this. Narcissists are experts at reading emotions. They know how to push your buttons and exploit your vulnerabilities. But indifference is like a language they don't understand. It confuses them, frustrates them, and ultimately destroys the illusion of control they worked so hard to build. It's the one thing they can't manipulate, the one response they can't predict. And that's what makes it so devastating. Thank you for staying with us through this deep dive into the psychology of narcissists and the power of indifference. If you found this discussion helpful or eye-opening, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more insightful content. Remember, your emotional well-being is in your hands, and sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and most importantly, stay indifferent.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for inviting me. The subject of narcissism and its impact on perceptions and behaviors towards others is indeed intricate and crucial to grasp. Narcissists often view others as inferior or less intelligent to maintain their own sense of superiority and control. This perspective helps them rationalize their manipulative tactics and shirk responsibility for their actions. By perceiving others as less capable, they believe they can manipulate and deceive without facing consequences. Various types of narcissists, whether overt, covert, grandiose, or malignant, may use different strategies, but their core motivations are consistent. They aim to maintain power and control in relationships, exploiting any perceived weaknesses or vulnerabilities in their targets. Common tactics used by narcissists include gaslighting, manipulation, and dishonesty to maintain control and avoid accountability. They test boundaries and push limits to see what they can get away with, often shifting blame onto their victims. Understanding the dynamics of narcissistic behavior is essential for self-protection and managing relationships with such individuals. It involves setting firm boundaries, recognizing manipulation tactics, and prioritizing self-care and emotional well-being. Narcissists excel at controlling people, making it crucial to be vigilant. They can appear in various settings, such as dating, marriage, family, and the workplace. Understanding your interactions with them is key, as they use confusing language and gaslighting to maintain an illusion of superiority, assuming you can't see through their act. Getting into arguments or questions only makes the ego stronger. Fighting with a narcissist is like fighting with a brick wall, no matter what side you're on. Their belief that you're a simpleton grows stronger every time you try to reason with them. When dealing with narcissists, this is a very bad mistake. It is very important to stay aware and educated. It is very important to understand what is going on and the facts. They keep insisting that I'm the narcissist or that it's all my fault, a lot of people have said. The narcissist's words don't matter though. The most important thing is how you respond. One sign of ego is putting the blame on other people. They will do anything to switch the subject and blame. Using defensive reasons will only make you less powerful. Instead, see how poisonous they are and choose to stay away from them, knowing they can't be honest. A lot of people want the narcissist to say they were wrong, especially if they cheated or lied, so they can end the relationship. Narcissists, on the other hand, rarely say sorry. They'd rather die than say sorry. When this happens, pay attention to what they do and how they act, because those things say a lot. In a recent video, I talked about how silence can be the most powerful reaction. The person in question is likely to be a hidden narcissist. They might use the silent treatment as a way to talk to you, hurting your feelings by ignoring you and putting you down without saying a word. Narcissists, especially covert ones, like to use nonverbal hints as a way to get what they want. Narcissists who are sneaky are experts at tricking people, spreading stories, and turning people who are on your side against you. Triangulation, isolating you, and making you look like the bad guy are what they do best. It's important to recognize these tricks and stay alert against their lies. Narcissists think they are geniuses even though their intelligence is questionable. They use gaslighting to make their targets confused, denying what happened or pretending to forget things to avoid being held responsible. They might even tell you to get professional help to avoid taking the blame, all the while using subtle tricks to hurt your image and credibility. The important thing is to refuse to play their mind games. Fighting with them only helps them because they like it when things go wrong. Do not waste your time thinking about what they said. Instead, recognize when they are attacking your character or mental health to avoid taking responsibility and avoid the conflict. It is very important to realize that arguing with them is pointless. They take advantage of and hurt others to avoid taking responsibility, sure of their own intelligence. They want to change your mind without giving you any facts, and the fact that they won't say sorry or accept the truth shows how weak their egos are. Don't expect them to validate you or feel bad about what they did. You have to accept that they are poisonous. The question is, how do you handle poison? Avoidance is the best thing to do. To lessen their effect on you, stay away from narcissists and use the gray rock method. Reply with short, factual, and emotionless comments. We talk about how narcissists see you as trusting in this movie. This is especially true when it comes to dating. They use different tricks to get what they want, like saying their phone battery died, acting like they don't know about texts, or just flat out lying. Narcissists lie, refuse to answer, or run away when they are faced with uncomfortable facts, which shows how cowardly they are. Covert narcissists, in particular, show cowardice by avoiding direct conflict and instead using sneaky methods. They like to work in secret, breaking trust and causing trouble behind your back. It is very important not to fall for their cheating plans. A lot of people get caught in the web of narcissistic manipulation without meaning to, arguing pointlessly while being gaslight and invalidated. Narcissists often use cheating as a way to take advantage of trust problems and change how people see them. They are very good at gaslighting their partners by calling them crazy or nervous to take the focus off of how dishonest they are being. But it's very important to fight the urge to explain yourself to narcissists. Their views don't matter, and arguing with them wastes your time and energy by adding fuel to their toxic games. When narcissists gaslight, attack your character, or make you feel bad about yourself, it's important to stay focused and clear. Understand that they are trying to control you by making you feel bad about your feelings, sanity, or credibility. They do this because they want to, because they think you are easy to manipulate. To show a narcissist that you're not easily fooled, silence is the best thing you can do. Getting into a fight will only make the cycle of manipulation and worry worse. When you protect yourself, you unintentionally show that you are weak, which helps the narcissist. Based on my own experience, I argued with narcissists for a long time, but I soon realized they didn't really listen. When I told them the truth, they would say things like, "I don't care what you have to say," which made me decide to cut ties with those bad people. Toxic, Self-centered people can't understand other people's feelings or see things from different points of view. It's very important to get away from harmful situations where people don't care about you or listen to your point of view. Be careful not to fall for these people's tricks. Keep an eye out, learn as much as you can, be sure of yourself, and follow your gut. This kind of dishonest behavior is typical of narcissists. They might suggest taking a break, but then come back after their adventures, or they might start fights that end in a breakup, only to return with displays of love. Their goal is to make you look bad. Do not fall for their double trick. They can't hide who they really are once their true colors are shown. Their habits are so strong that they probably won't change. I know that narcissists don't trust others because I've dealt with a lot of them. If a narcissist doesn't trust others, they will never fully open up or make real relationships. Narcissists are naturally suspicious, even though they seem nice on the outside. Because of past trauma or a need for control, their defensive walls make it hard for them to build trusted relationships. They want to take charge of their lives now because they felt helpless as kids. There are different ways that different types of narcissists try to control others. An overt narcissist might use threats, yelling, and violence, while a hidden narcissist might keep quiet, refuse to talk, or spread rumors. To fight someone successfully, you need to know what they're doing and how they're doing it. Don't waste time or energy trying to protect yourself from a harmful narcissist. When they try to gaslight you, take a step back and stop talking to them. This is very important when dealing with these kinds of people. Gaslighting, deception, and breadcrumbing are all types of narcissism. Ultimately, narcissists want to trick others by telling lies to control them and gain their trust. The supply they want is once they have your trust, which they can get by being close to you, taking advantage of your money, investing in your business, or even moving in with you. Narcissists are like skilled liars. They carefully plan how to get what they want at your cost. Some people might lie just to boost their own ego. Narcissists get a strange sense of joy from starting fights to bring you down, which also boosts their own self-esteem. Others might make up small fights as an excuse to end the connection and find another source of supply. It's a complicated web of lies and manipulation meant to catch you. Now, telling the difference between fact and fiction is very important. When you feel like something is wrong, trust your gut. It's often a sign from God. Trusting someone who doesn't deserve it can lead to deep sorrow. If you think something is wrong, it probably is. Even though gaslighting might make it hard to tell the truth, it usually does. If someone's feelings toward you go back and forth between liking you and not caring about you, that's a sure sign they're lying. They might act friendly as you leave, but become distant once they can't reach you, maybe because they're busy making out with someone else. Don't let someone trick you. I hope this talk has helped you understand how complicated lying is and served as a lesson to be careful. Remember, don't give people the benefit of the doubt if they aren't deserving it. When you sense lying or manipulation, you should back away. Know that these kinds of actions rarely get better, especially if they start early. If you start a relationship with someone who lies, manipulates, or plays mind games with you, that's a red flag that you're with a narcissist, whose behavior often makes you wonder. It's fun for narcissists